4-meter SUV segment has been growing year on year and continues to see great demand. And to capitalize on this demand, Kia has launched another product in the same segment. They had the Sonet and now they have launched the Syros. Now, one thing is for sure about Syros, you get a lot of features. Let's take a look at its detailed review.
The Kia Syros, the overall styling is something that you don't see every day. The tall boy stance coupled with the boxy proportions and yet a subcompact footprint, something unique. And also if you look at the front end, well, there's no grille so to say, and these vertically stacked LED cubes along with the Starlight LED DRL give it that futuristic look. Side view of the Syros may remind you of the Maruti Suzuki Wagon-R. Plastic claddings on the wheel arches, they try to give you that butch appeal. The alloy design is completely new as well. So the cabin of the Kia Syros is a nice place to be in. Starting with the centerpiece, the 30-inch Trinity instrument panel that you see here. So the console behind the steering wheel, that's one part. Then you have these controls for the AC in this 5-inch patch. Then you have this wireless charger here, 2 cup holders which can also double up as a cubby hole. And then you have this storage space inside here and an air purifier, ventilated seats front and rear, that's right, a nice panoramic sunroof. Kia offers a total of 16 level 2 ADAS features on the Syros. So if we were to talk about the steering wheel on the Syros, well, it feels a little thin to hold, right? But the double D-cut design of the steering wheel is something that I really like. So Kia says that the Syros gets best in class space in the cabin, particularly at the rear seat. The rear seat, yes, it is ventilated and it can be moved front and back, along with the fact that the backrest can be reclined. Watch this. So you have this massive recline function here. It's quite comfy. Being a tall boy design, there's enough headroom right here and there's decent space between my knees and the backrest of the seat, right? You have 2 cup holders and an armrest too. The Syros gets 2 engine options, a 1-liter turbo petrol and a 1.5-liter diesel engine. The turbo petrol gets either a 6-speed manual or a 7-speed DCT, while the diesel gets a 6-speed manual or a 6-speed automatic. Alright, so right now we are driving the 1-liter turbo petrol engine variant of the Syros with the 7-speed dual clutch automatic gearbox option, right? When you take off from standstill in the Syros, so you feel this pronounced lag. The build up, the way the momentum builds, it's slightly slow, and once you hit 2500 rpm 3000 rpm, that's when the power starts coming in, right? The mid-range is quite strong and there's decent shove in the engine as well. So in that sense, yes, the Syros is fun to drive, but the initial pickup is slightly slow. And if we were to talk about the handling of the Kia Syros, well, it is a city car. The steering feels very soft. Tune of the suspension, if it would have been slightly firmer. So right now it's a little too soft for my liking, and especially if you have passengers at the rear, then they will bounce around if you're going over bad patches of road. So that's not a very good feeling to have. We expect the prices of Kia Syros to start just below 10 lakh rupees and go up to 17 lakh rupees for the top spec fully loaded variant. Kia has received over 10,000 bookings, with 60% of them for petrol variants. Kia Syros is indeed an exciting product in the sub 4-meter SUV range. And if you were to look at the overall package, the practicality, the features, the comfort and the performance as well, it has solid potential to create a dent in the sales of the Kia Sonet. The features inside are from a segment above.
और Skoda ने कोशिश की है इंडियन कस्टमर्स को इम्प्रेस करने की। पहले तो स्टार्टिंग प्राइस जो है वो कॉम्पिटिटिव रखी है, 7.89 लाख से इसकी कीमतें शुरू होती हैं और उसके बाद जो टॉप वेरिएंट है वो 14.4 लाख तक जाता है, जो कि थोड़ा सा एक्सपेंसिव माना जाएगा इस सेगमेंट में। सामने सबसे पहले नजर आता है ये ग्रिल, जिसमें ये थोड़ा सा 3D इफेक्ट पता चलता है, जो कि स्कोडा का नया ग्रिल है। देन यू हैव अ वेल डिजाइंड बम्पर एरिया, देयर आर बिग air vents, you get these DRLs on top, the headlamp sits below, you get this 17-inch dual tone alloys. At the rear, these tail lamps look a bit too small. I think it would have been better if Skoda would have given connected tail lamp. Rear bumper, ये काफ़ी बड़ा तो है, लेकिन इसमें थोड़ा सा विजुअल ब्रेक दिया गया है ये स्ट्रिप लगाकर सिल्वर कलर की, तो वो थोड़ा ठीक दिखाई देता है। Now let me show you the boot space, and before I show you the boot space, I also want to show you the rear camera. So you do have a rear camera. Now boot space is 446 liters. Parcel tray. This is very interesting. Of course, you can connect it here, but there is a specific place. If you want to keep more luggage and you don't need the parcel tray, then you can just slip it here and it will stay in place. Now it's time to talk about Kylaq's interiors, and as you can see, I am adjusting the driver's seat electrically and the passenger seat is also electrically adjustable. You also have a small sunroof. It's not very big. I think 3XO has a larger sunroof. Now you get a 10.1-inch touchscreen. Then you have an 8-inch driver display. I really like this steering. It's 2-spoke steering with knobs here for volume control and shifting the menu. The front 2 seats are ventilated. Now let's talk about other features that you get here. पहले तो ये AC का जो कंट्रोल है, ऑटोमेटिक AC कंट्रोल वैसे ही है जैसा कि हमने कुशाक और स्लाविया में देखा है. Then you get wireless charging pad here, 2 C-type charging points. You do not get USB type A charging point in this car. You have 2 cup holders here, जहाँ पर एक जो कप होल्डर है उसमें एंटी स्लिप फंक्शन भी है, यानी कि अगर आप अपनी छोटी बॉटल, क्योंकि बड़ी बॉटल यहाँ पर नहीं आएगी, देन यहाँ पर जो ग्लव बॉक्स है उसका साइज़ अच्छा है और उसमें ये एक अलग से जगह दी गई है जहाँ पर अपने गॉगल्स रख सकते हैं. ओवरऑल द क्वालिटी लुक्स वेरी good, but there are a couple of features that I would have liked to see in the Kylaq. For example, 360-degree camera. You do get a camera, but it's only a reverse camera. And then you don't get ADAS. Kylaq का जो व्हील बेस है वो स्टैंड करता है 2566 mm पर, जबकि कुशाक का जो व्हील बेस है वो 2651 का है. और तो आप ये एक्सपेक्ट करेंगे कि यहाँ पर गाड़ी के अंदर जगह कंपेयर टू कुशाक थोड़ी सी कम है, लेकिन अगर आप काइलैक को इसी सेगमेंट की बाकी गाड़ियों से कंपेयर करें, फॉर एग्जांपल ब्रेजा या फिर वेन्यू, देन दिस व्हील बेस इज एक्चुअली हायर. देयर इज decent amount of leg space available here. Foot space is also adequate. However, there's a hump ahead, so you can't stretch your leg too much. There is decent amount of headroom if you are lean back, but if you are slightly ahead, then because it's scooped out, you will find the headroom to be a little compromised. डिसेंट साइज़ के लोगों को बिठाकर देखा तो ये जगह थोड़ी सी टाइट पता चल रही थी इन टर्म्स ऑफ शोल्डर रूम. लाइनिंग इज डिसेंट, द फिट एंड फिनिश इनसाइड इज वेरी गुड, एंड यू फील लाइक यू आर सिटिंग इन अ वेल डिजाइन्ड, वेल मैन्युफैक्चर्ड कार. It's paired with 6-speed automatic and 6-speed manual, which is what I'm driving right now. And for a petrol engine, this engine feels quite noisy and has a bit of vibrations too. It settles down once you pick up speed, लेकिन slow speed पर आपको इसकी vibrations पता चलेंगी. और जितनी बार आप इस गाड़ी को पुश करेंगे, आपको engine noise भी गाड़ी के अंदर काफी ज्यादा सुनाई देगी. And there's a clear turbo lag in this engine. इंजन अपने एलिमेंट में 2200 RPMs के आसपास ही आता है, तो that means that if you are driving in the city, you will have to keep downshifting. And when you are downshifting, you will notice that the gear action isn't the smoothest. गियर को स्लॉट करना थोड़ा सा मुश्किल पता चलता है, हल्का सा, और जो क्लच है वो थोड़ा सा हार्ड है. The turbo lag also means that in case you want to overtake, you will have to do a little bit of planning. Because the car picks up speed, but there is a considerable delay. So you will have to plan your overtakes when you are on highways. Now let's talk about the ride quality. Well, the suspension is slightly on the stiffer side. So when you are on slower speed, you will notice all the bumps, all the undulations in the car. But as Kylaq picks up speed, the absorption becomes a little better. braking performance is pretty good. अगर आपने स्लाविया या फिर कुशाल चलाई है तो एक कंप्लेंट जो लोगों को है उसमें वो ये कि एसी ठीक से काम नहीं करता. इस गाड़ी में वो प्रॉब्लम आपको शायद थोड़ी कम होगी. If you are a Skoda fan and if you like the way Skodas drive, because Kylaq does manage to give you the same kind of ride and handling that Skodas give, that's something that you are looking for, then Kylaq gives you a lower entry point to join the Skoda family. Welcome back. You are watching the NDTV Auto Show. At the Bharat Mobility Global Expo 2025, there were a lot of very interesting products and we had some amazing conversations. Let's take a look. I'm talking to a very interesting company, a company that can be responsible for EV penetration's increased growth in India, and that's Charge+Zone, and they have another brand called Billion-E. We will talk all about it with its founder, Mr. Kartikey Hariyani. Thank you so much, Kartikey, for joining us today.
Thank you, Mugdha.
Now, first of all, tell me, we understand Charge+Zone. Charge+Zone is spreading infrastructure, EV charging infrastructure in the country, but what is Billion-E?
So Billion-E is India's first ever e-mobility as a service platform for electric trucks. A couple of years ago, when we got up on one data point for our country, the top 51 cities of India have more than 100 million vehicles. Less than 5% are trucks, and they consume 40% of diesel every day. We believe that was the first problem to be solved for. Therefore, Billion-E today solves decarbonization for mid-mile logistics in the country.
So now I want to ask you that right now, how much investment are you making into developing this infrastructure?
Yeah. So currently we are on a capex cycle of 500 crores that we started in 2023, and let's put it that way, one charging station a day is equal to 1 crore of capex every day. So with our very enterprising team of 300 people that we are currently building the network, and it's not about just setting up charging station. It's also important that we focus on the uptime, the availability of the charging station. Therefore, you'll find an equal importance of setting up charging station as much as the availability and reliability part of the EV charging station for our customers.
So you must be having a lot of data with you now on charging on charging patterns. What is your data telling you? What is it that people prefer? The commercial vehicle suppliers are different from personal vehicle users.
Absolutely, yeah.
So what is that data telling you?
No, I think this is one of the most amazing questions being asked today morning. Yeah. So the data is interesting, though it's too early. As you know, EV industry has just started, and this Bharat Mobility Show today in January 2025 is a showcase of what's the future is going to look like. Well, today we are pretty excited about the equal opportunity both in personal mobility and commercial mobility. As much as the personal mobility or the personal EV car owners are delighted to use Charge+Zone network as well as our competitors' network as well. But it's a commercial mobility which we believe will be the game changer. Our money is on commercial mobility. There is a simple data point to share. An electric car will consume 20 units per charging station. An electric truck will consume more than 100 units per charging station. So I think at the end of the day, these large machines are gas guzzlers, or they will consume more energy, which is quite obvious. And therefore, the commercial mobility is the one that will drive the adoption of EV charging business in the country.
One question that I want to ask you about commercial vehicle, that in commercial vehicle, turnaround time is very important. It's of essence because time is money for them.
Absolutely.
So, how can that time be reduced for charging?
I must say this is one of the most interesting question here, and been asked by our customers multiple times. So let's put it this way. I'm sure you're a car lover, hence you are here at Bharat Mobility Show today. You always preferred a diesel engine versus petrol. The reason was the torque, the pickup, the acceleration. But if I tell you that an electric vehicle has a far superior acceleration than even a diesel engine, well, that sounds music to the ears.
Yeah.
Well, when we started deploying electric trucks along with our Charge+Zone network, we found there are two outcomes that came up. Yes, there are pit stops being taken by electric cars or electric trucks, electric buses for EV charging. Well, that got equalized or substantiated by the pickup and acceleration, but less fatigue. An electric vehicle, they call it, is a gas on wheels. There is a less heat, less vibration, therefore less fatigue. And therefore, yes, an electric truck driver or his stat will be compensated by the pit stop he needs, which is not the case in case of diesel. The advantage of EV are enormous. It is not just about zero emissions, not about and helping you to reach your sustainability goals, but it's also about the cockpit. The guy in the cockpit who has been extremely impressed by the very experience of driving an EV, and therefore the TAT is either the same as diesel or even better.
So when you are providing energy as a service, who are your major clients?
Well, when we started in 2019, we started with actually Blue Smart, with our first customer in April 2019, followed by Ashok Leyland, and we developed India's first ever electric bus charging station for the city of Ahmedabad for Ashok Leyland, which is now SUVs Mobility for their electric buses. Since then, we added all the automotive OEMs as our key partners, including Hyundai, Tata EV, Audi, Mercedes-Benz, and so on. And having said that, if you talk about the customers, well, there are more than 150,000 customers who use our charging stations every month. Yeah. Today, the population of electric car is, though it's very small, it's just 300,000 cars on the roads, but more than half of them have used our charging station at least once since they bought the car. Yeah.
You know, when we get the data of personal vehicles, the data clearly suggests people prefer charging at home. But that's not the case with commercial vehicles. So do you think this charging infrastructure should be more tuned towards commercial vehicle infrastructure?
Absolutely.
Commercial vehicles requirements?
Absolutely. This charger station you see here is for commercial vehicles.
Yeah.
These are super fast chargers ranging from 180 kilowatt to 240 kilowatt, and they charge this truck in less than 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And therefore, yes, a personal mobility or personal car has an advantage of home charging. A commercial vehicle does not have one, and therefore the importance of high speeds or supercharging infrastructure cannot be understated anymore.
Yeah.
And it's no longer a chicken egg story. Charging infra comes first.
Okay. When we talk about charging stations, one problem that people often face is a problem of congestion. They are going somewhere, suppose a truck is going from point A to point B, there are 3 charging points, but he needs to recharge, there are already 2 trucks plugged in. So how are you trying to solve that problem?
Yeah, I think that day is yet to come in, because the population population of the vehicle is gradually increasing. But there is something called trip planner. Yeah, while driving a diesel or a petrol vehicle, you never thought. It was always a very impromptu decision. You drove your vehicle out of your home to a destination. But yes, in case of EV, one has to plan. But in commercial, thankfully, it is driven by their schedules, the kind of timetable thing, right? And the schedules here for electric trucks is when a truck driver, we call them truck captains, when they get onto the cockpit, well, they only have to press a start button, and the trip planner is completely designated for them. Their pit stop is assigned, and the intervals of charging are also completely defined. Even his masala dosa is prepared. Yeah. So we have bought the technology, which we have not spoken so far. And before even don't want to really overstate the importance of technology, but like every other business is technology driven or enabled. At Billion-E or a Charge+Zone, we are fundamentally technology driven, and the enablement of or placing the technology right in the right process, in the right function is so important out here. So we bought a feature called Auto Charge. So when a driver or even an EV owner plugs in the charger to the vehicle, well, he just has to press one button, and from his wallet, the payment is carried out and the charging is commenced. So it is just a 1-step or a 2-step function where the charging experience is amazingly to the superior level or meets his expectations.
And smooth. Okay. So are you partnering with some, say, hospitality industry so that you have a rest and leisure area for your clients who are coming to charge their vehicles?
Many customers do ask us, do we have amenities?
Yeah.
Well, since 2019, Charge+Zone has set up charging stations where there are food zones. Yeah. In other words, the amenities are very, very different, and therefore, I'm happy to say you'll never find a Charge+Zone charging station without any amenity. It's always a default. Yeah.
Okay.
It may not show on our app, but you can trust us. Our charging station is co-located with various hospitality partners, Marriott being one of the largest partners to us. Yeah, we have more than 100 Marriott properties where we have set up charging stations all over India, plus hotels like Hyatt, Novotel, and so on, as much as various restaurants or even dhabas on the highways, where a customer or a EV owner or EV driver can take a 20-minute pit stop. Yeah.
So by the end of this year, by the end of 2025, how many charge zone stations will be around the country?
Yeah, absolutely. We are targeting now, so we already have now close to 3,000 locations, 3,000 stations, sorry, at close to 1,000 locations. And this is translated to roughly 5,200 plus points. But by end of 2025 calendar year, we shall be crossing at least 5,000 stations and at least 1,500 locations in the country.
Okay, and also on investment, what is your structure right now? Are you going to raise some more funds? What's your plan on
Absolutely.
that?
At Charge+Zone, we have been backed by Macquarie Capital and BII. They are two marquee investors globally in the climate and energy transition space. And in Billion-E, we have just got an interesting term sheet for more than few $100 million. But I think we'll be releasing the good news very soon.
All right, Mr. Kartikey. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Alright, so we are here with the Ferrato Defy 22. Now, Ferrato was earlier called Kia Mobility. It has been rebranded, and this is the first scooter launched priced at 99,999 rupees. And yes, it has been launched in India, and it is a stylish scooter. It gets a 2.2 kilowatt hour battery with a range of 80 kilometers under ICAT rules. It has a top speed of 70 kilometers per hour, and yes, it also gets a 7-inch screen right here, touch screen. It has controls for music, video, photos, and you have settings as well. This is the nice contemporary layout that you see here, and the overall design of the scooter, it's quite nice. And yes, this is the first launch for 2025 from Ferrato, and they promise that there will be more launches to come this year.
Hello and welcome to NDTV Auto. What you see on your screen is the D-Max, the very popular pickup from Isuzu, but this one specifically is a little different. What you see here is the D-Max EV concept, और ये शायद फ्यूचर में बन सकती है टोयोटा हाइलक्स EV की प्राइम राइवल. अब देखिए, इसे ग्लोबली शोकेस किया गया था पिछले साल, लेकिन नाउ इट हैज़ कम टू इंडिया. इस कॉन्सेप्ट मॉडल को इंडिया में भी रखा गया है एट द ऑटो एक्सपो. तो चलिए कुछ चीज़ें आपको दिखाते हैं, बताते हैं कि क्या है खास, कितना रेंज, कितना बैटरी और क्या परफॉर्मेंस हम इससे एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं. ऑब्वियसली Isuzu पिकअप ट्रक 4x4 आपको ज़रूर मिलेगा इलेक्ट्रिक होने के बावजूद. ऑल टाइम 4x4 विद दिस मॉड्यूल आपको मिल जाएगा. अगर डिज़ाइन की बात करें तो ऑलमोस्ट वैसा ही है. द फ्रंट एंड इज़ लिटिल डिफरेंट. ये ब्लू शेड से आप पता लगा सकते हैं दिस इज़ अ इलेक्ट्रिक, एंड ग्रिल मस्क्यूलर एलिमेंट्स आपको दिख जाएंगे Isuzu वाले, बट दीज ब्लू एलिमेंट्स दे डिनोट इट्स एन इलेक्ट्रिक कार. एंड इट्स मोर क्लोज्ड ऑफ, बहुत ज़्यादा कूलिंग की ज़रूरत नहीं है. तो द ग्रिल लुक्स क्वाइट कॉम्पैक्ट, एकदम क्लोज्ड ऑफ ग्रिल. यहाँ पे कुछ डिज़ाइन एलिमेंट्स ज़रूर अलग है. द लाइट्स लुक स्लाइटली डिफरेंट. ओवरऑल वही आपको प्रेजेंस मिल जाएगा. हाईवे टेरेन टायर्स, दीज लुक रियली नाइस. एलॉयज, ओवरऑल लंबाई, चौड़ाई या फिर इसका जो बेड एरिया है, इसमें कोई चेंजेस नहीं है. गाड़ी के अंदर क्या कुछ है वो नहीं दिखा सकते हैं आपको, लेकिन बाहर से गाड़ी वैसी ही लगती है. वही आपको लाइट सेटअप पीछे की ओर मिल जाएगा. इनफैक्ट पीछे का जो लेटरिंग है वो भी सेम ही है. यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं Isuzu D-Max की जो बैज है वो एक्चुअली EV के साथ कोई डिस्टिंक्शन है नहीं. अगर कुछ फीचर्स की बात करें तो यहाँ पे आपको जो बैटरी मॉड्यूल मिल जाता है वो लगभग यहाँ पे 66.4 किलोवाट आवर का है, माफ़ कीजिए 66.9 किलोवाट आवर का है. लिथियम आयन बैटरी यहाँ पे मिल जाएगा. और मोटर की जब बात करते हैं, यहाँ पे डुअल मोटर सेटअप दिया गया है जो कॉम्बिनेशन में 130 किलोवाट और 325 न्यूटन मीटर का पीक टॉर्क बना सकता है. मैक्सिमम स्पीड ये पिकअप इलेक्ट्रिक वर्जन में छू सकती है 130 किलोमीटर प्रति घंटे की रफ्तार. और इसका जो मैक्सिमम पेलोड है, पीछे आप सामान लाद के कैरियर लेके अगर चलना चाहते हैं तो 1000 किलो तक का पेलोड आपको इस D-Max EV कॉन्सेप्ट में दिख जाएगा. और ऑब्वियसली हम देखते हैं Isuzu में टोइंग एक बहुत ही बड़ा फंडा रहता है. और यहाँ पे टो की बात करें तो 3.5 टन तक ये इलेक्ट्रिक टो कर सकती है. अब देखिए, बहुत कुछ अंडर डेवलपमेंट है क्योंकि इस गाड़ी को अभी भी डेवलप किया जा रहा है. शायद यूरोपियन मार्केट्स में इस साल के अंत तक आ जाए ये गाड़ी. और रेंज कहीं भी अनुमान लगाया जा रहा है लगभग 300 किलोमीटर तक का आपको मिल जाएगा जब ये लॉन्च होती है. और इसे इस वक्त शोकेस पे रखा गया है इन इंडिया. कुछ महीनों पहले इसे कुछ साउथ ईस्ट एशियन कंट्रीज़ में दिखाया गया था. It has finally made its India showcase at the Global Auto Expo in New Delhi.
I hope you liked the show today. Before I say goodbye, I want to remind you to subscribe to our YouTube channel NDTV Auto and do follow us on your favorite social media platform. We are there everywhere. See you next week. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.